I'm Margaret Windsor, and I wanted to address this. This was on the Valley Business. It was a monthly, may still be in print, theroanoke.star.com, and this was 8/15 of 14. I'm saying this because I've told about my kidnapping and my real name and everything. And these people, after I was in a campaign to replace Dr. Congressman Larry McDonald, I'd written a book about him. Well, he was a case in it about mind control murders and programming. Now then, his plane went down when the pilot veered into Russian airspace, and that's part of how you can use mind control like it was used in JFK Jr. I got to say this, though. They were part of my kidnapping, and I've got this up on a lot of videos and the evidence and all that. I wanted to say this. He came up when I was delegated to the Appalachian Trail. Really, I couldn't even stay there. I froze and starved. I came to Roanoke in '86, and my dad, the real King Edward VIII, was married to my mom, Claudia Ruth O'Keefe. Then she was Queen of England, and you never hear of her. He abdicated. He was forced to abdicate. The plot to take him down was so massive because he wouldn't kowtow to the Illuminati, the Freemasons. He refused to sell out his country, is exactly the truth. Now then, history tells you, and remember, my dad's married to my mom then when he was forced to abdicate. The media and the Rothschilds, Rockefellers that control it, the people that kidnapped me and took down my dad, stated he abdicated to marry Wallace Simpson, which was a total lie, an American spy. She married an imposter. And he did things, his behavior, and this didn't just happen. This was pre-done before my grandfather died. The plot was hatched because my dad didn't go along with him. He wasn't a sellout. He didn't sell his soul. So an imposter did behavior that was attributed to my father. My father didn't do that, the antics and the crimes, but a lot of people thought he did, and history still states that. Now I want to get into, I want to mention this woman. I heard of her on Facebook, and she heard of me and contacted me, and I talked to her, Facebooked her maybe once, and then I won't get into all of it. You can look it up. This woman her name is Emily Elizabeth. She uses the Windsor name, and she's not Craig, Cragg. She has got videos. People believe her. She has to work for the CIA. I'm going to tell you this. My dad, she used his name in saying she's the illegitimate daughter, which is a total lie and been proven to her. She's even admitted it on my notifications, etc. But this woman, I found out, is kin to the Rockefellers that kidnapped me. And I saw a post done by Michael Rockefeller. He was arrested immigrations in the last of this February, about the 25th, in Oslo, Norway, trying to come to the United States. He's Illuminati. He's related. I thought he was the grandson of David Rockefeller. Anyway, he's got a lot of videos up, and on the post I saw, and he's got videos, I believe, saying that Emily Windsor Craig, and she's not a Windsor, is his aunt. Can you believe it? I mean, really, the lies are sick. But I want to get back to this, and I think she works for the State Department here in the United States, and that's who would cover my kidnapping and the hostage money. And all this, the media control Rockefellers has told nothing. It's a blackout on it. So you've got Hillary Clinton, you've got Henry Kissinger, and I've put up here just a part of what he did to me during the Watergate, the 18-minute gap. Then you get into Madeleine Albright, Jew. Henry Kissinger's a Jew, part of the Illuminati. And then you get into Condoleezza Rice was from Alabama, where they took me, gave me the name of a twin in 1941. The crimes committed against me there are so preposterous. And my hope was that now that they've got Jeff Sessions there from Alabama, I, as Attorney General, that I believe he's honest. And I hope somehow this is all made to be told by the mainstream media. Okay, I want to get back to this, and then I'll try to follow up on the other. In 86, when I came here, I was starving and freezing, and I'd been out to Larry Flint's and running a political campaign to replace the doctor congressman I have mentioned. It was one of the cases, Larry McDonald, and the plane went down. But I was told, and that Patel, he's one of the Shaw and Patel, in this article, that he was sent over here to help me. Well, I'm going to tell you what's happened. I've tried to put it up. Sonny Shaw, he's from India, or he might have been born here, but he's from India, and Patel's from India. They have made a killing on hotel, motel, and I'm going to tell you why. So many people have gotten wealthy off of my hell. It's pathetic. I was shut down when I came here. I could not get a place to stay. I was on the side of the road going back to D.C. to try to find my kids in Atlanta. No money, hitchhiking, and it was a horror story. So I'm going to get to this. I went to the Appalachian Trail to live up at Full Heart Knob off of Mountain Pass Road. It's the old entrance to the Full Heart Knob shelter. And it's freezing and starving, and I walked 22 miles a day. I walked in the ice and snow. I carried water for miles and miles that came with mosquitoes on it, etc. Nobody wanted to help. And I did this for years, and there's a lot to do with the forestry, the rangers. It's supposed to protect you. But I wanted to get to this. That's where John Kennedy, which I've mentioned, they kept tabs of me. His dad helped in my kidnapping, JFK, and that's the Warren Commission cover-up. He came up the trail after I'd been there about the first winter, before the new trail. Everybody around here knows what I'm talking about, the new part to the trail, up from the Travel Post Office. That Lee Highway was fixed up to the trail, so it was a couple of years or a year before then. So that's about 93 and 94, the spring. Up comes John Kennedy and his buddy, the one that was always running around with him, the other backpacks on. He comes up and he says to me, he assured me he was John Kennedy. Well, I thought he was. I thought, my God, they've got a real double here. If not, he wasn't a double. He said, we flew down here, and that's to Roanoke, just to see how we made you live. And he took out his food, some of the foods and peanuts out of their backpacks. They didn't offer me any. I'm a joke to them. I'm going to, that he went down in the plane. That was mind control. And people take up for these killers, and that's exactly who they are. Now I want to get back to this. In this, they've gotten wealthy. They've gotten in the part they played with me, which is hell. They've gotten wealthy. All of them, they own cars. They own really nice hotels. Some of them not so nice. Not just in Roanoke, but the land up and down 83 in Troutville, Roanoke. How did they get it all? You tell me. Now they also have extended. They're putting a new hotel or motel up in Christiansburg, Virginia Tech area, which is about 60 miles from here at the most, Roanoke. And they've just continued to grow. Charlottesville, etc., etc. They drive pretty cars. Their wives dressed immaculately. Look at me. I'm the reason they've got it. Now then, how they got it, what all they did, though, is what gets me. I have an allergy, an immune disorder to chemicals. Toxic fumes make my immune system attack itself, and over time it destroys organs in my body, my kidneys, my lungs, liver, etc. Enough said. It's there now, it would seem. And nobody will touch it. The law enforcement gets things on like your people that work in the hotels, or there is a code violation, or the manager. In this case, these people were bought off. Now, and everywhere I've been, they've run me through the years. I've walked, I can't walk anymore, and I've mentioned HUD. That's a federal offense, but all this is, my kidnapping, all of it is a sick joke to them. HUD, and I'm going to mention Joseph's Dream in Bedford. I'm going to mention Richfield and Scott's Retirement in Clifton Forge. And who's the other? Richfield, I said Richfield, Edinburgh. They got to all these people, the managers. They've still got their jobs and their retirement. They did things, it was deliberate over time, force-feeding me in the rooms that I had leased chemicals that made me so sick I would have to break the lease and be homeless again and make me look bad. Till you get them before a court of law, they'll lie, they won't tell the truth, period. Now then, I wanted to mention this because somebody had seen my YouTube and they found me, walked up and showed me this article. Okay, this is Patel, Sonny. And when I first came here, he owned where I'm at now, which is the Knight's Inn on Third Lane Road. And it was new then, about new anyway, and I rented it for a week and it was okay. I'd finally gotten some money. Then I rented it for a month and I stayed about 2 days and they came in and soaked it with pesticide, and I could go on about it. That's what they've done. It ended up that I've tried to leave the state. I'm forced to come back. Okay, when I had to leave here, and this was some years ago, about 1999, I guess. I couldn't get any of my money back. I'd paid for a month, and I stayed maybe 2 days. I was made to walk to try to get it from here, which is about at least 12 miles, to the Ramada Inn that he owned. This is Shaw. Okay, I was told there the same thing happened. I'm walked from one place to the other, and I'm hit there. And I was told by 3 or 4, it was a couple and a couple, that night that I stayed there for a night, and then I was so sick I had to leave. So I lost all my money, and that's been the story. I stay 1 or 2 nights if I pay a week. If I pay a month, I've learned to not do that unless it's on a lease. At HUD, I can't get anything else. And I lose all my money that I've paid, and I'm homeless again, and I'm walking on the side of the road to get back to the mountain. But anyway, they said to me at the Ramada Inn that this man owned back then, and he owned this place, that it went so high up in D.C., they couldn't get anything done. This 2 couples said that, and they left. So now I'm going to read this. And you talk about Congress. Bob Goodlatte, was head of, back when I lived in the forest, and the rangers and forest rangers and etc., all this happened for so long. I went to his office. He was over the agriculture. I went to his office downtown Roanoke in Sun Trust building. I think it's still there in the Sun Trust. Okay, he was on the committee over the agriculture, so was actually over the forestry, the agriculture, the forest rangers, etc. I went to Virginia Senator Edwards, John Edwards, who I thought was nice back then. His office was right next to Goodlatte's. Now then, I talked to him on the phone several times, Edwards. There was no doubt in his mind. I went in his office, and Goodlatte's, they know exactly who I am. They know who my father is. They know about my kidnapping, etc. They know what's going on with these people and going on with me. Last time I went in to Edwards, and then I went into Goodlatte's office, I came out and got on the elevator because nothing was being done. I was being ignored. Got on the elevator, a guy came out of Goodlatte's office, got on the elevator with me and said, "Lady, if he helps you, he'll be living out in the National Forest with you." I want to say now that Goodlatte is on the Judicial Committee and the Intelligence Committee, the two most important committees you have. You have not heard anything about this. You have not heard about mind control. I wrote about that, and it can be proven. The Virginia Tech, I can go on and on. Larry Flint was one of them that was shot. How do you think JFK, and they covered it up because of the Warren Commission, that was a mind control shooting program. And Martin Luther King, there's lists of them. Now then, as far as I'm concerned, JFK, I hope there's a God and you know where he's at for his part in what was done to me and my family, my country. I want to finish this, though. At this grand opening, this was back in 2014, and they're talking about somebody. Elvis Presley stayed, they remodeled it, Forest of Trees. I don't know. That's part of this. I didn't even read all of that, what they're trying to say. Elvis must have stayed there or something. Anyway, here at the opening of the new Quality Inn, give it a plug there, right, in Salem. The guests include Senator John Edwards and representatives from Senator Tim Kaine, he was a former governor, VP pick for Hillary Clinton of the Illuminati, Mark Warner, who was the governor, senator, Delegate Sam, I don't know him, so I won't mention, Congressman Bob Goodlatte. Now then you get on to the city and all these people that are wearing fancy clothes. I paid for it. My hostage money, if it's ever told, and I'm in rags. Now I'm going, maybe you need to investigate all these people in Congress while you're at it, because all your Secretary of States knew about my kidnapping. It's handled through there. Your presidents did. The only good one was Jimmy Carter. All right? Now, you would think they'd tell about mind control. Here is, he's a veteran of U.S. Army. He's put to death. He says there was an implant, and you can prove this one. I didn't have to have. This was written by Implantable Biochips by Tex Mars. I didn't need this. I was already telling, and then about it all, back from 78 when Flint was shot, before then. And then I'm flown out to his home and during the campaign, and now then, you'd think a chip being put up to program one of the military, they would have it called before Congress, especially me that's been telling it, and me who's been kidnapped, and I'm a monarch, and he was put to death. That's when somebody else pays for the crime. This is going to go off. This is George, my uncle, in 1939, meeting with Roosevelt, president who helped in my kidnapping. I was born in 39. They're planning it. This is my dad, a decent, beautiful man. History has lied that married Claudia Ruth O'Keeffe. My mom, sister to artist Georgia O'Keeffe. She was queen. She married my dad while he was king in 36. Wallace Simpson was a part of it. Here she is shaking hands. I forgot what year, and this is not going to go up. In 41, when they kidnapped me. How about that? There's no words for. Here's Larry Flint was shot. He tried to help. This is Elizabeth, who's part of the Illuminati, and she is not the queen. She's a traitor, a war criminal. So is her dad, George VI. This is the double or one of them that married Simpson. Became the illegal Duke and Duchess of Windsor. Now, I think that's all I can say. That was the birth certificate of Carl. They gave me the name of a twin. And I found out in 83 that Peggy and Carl both had been killed by their mother, Lina Dempsey.